Blog Talk Radio. Hi everyone, this is Camille from sunny California, and you're listening to the Coffee Chat with Camille show, which is a podcast series that interviews various guests about real-life topics for people who love to learn. Hello everybody, how are you? I'm back. It's Saturday in sunny California. I have an exclusive part 1 interview with Sir Frank Cooper. Sir Frank Cooper is the founder of the first award show and ceremony for African American comedians. The name of the award show is African American Humor Awards. I forgot to put society in the notes. Sir Frank Cooper is the esteemed visionary who founded and spearheaded the highly acclaimed African American Humor Awards Society, or AKA the AAhAs, in 1989. He was born and raised in Georgia. He left to pursue his dream, and although he faced deep challenges, it was during his practice of meditation that he had the brilliant idea to produce an awards show. Now, 20 years later, he has continued to produce the AAhAs events for the purpose of recognizing legendary African American comedic talent. His trademark for the AAhAs is laughter has no color. The show embraces African Americans, minorities, rich cultural heritage, and artistic contributions, celebrating their achievements across various fields, including film, television, music, sports, and activism. His profound impact has internationally recognized comedians presented with awards such as Richard Pryor, the late Richard Pryor, Jay Leno, Monique, Dick Gregory, D.L. Hewley, Rudy Ray Moore, and so many who are pioneers in comedy but have gone decades being overlooked in their professions. The AAhAs movie is streaming on Amazon Prime. And then I left the link for you. I'm sorry, I left a link, for you, the audience and listener, in the description of the show. But all you do is you just go to the website, and it looks like it's theahas.com. Okay, it's theahas.com. AAHA is spelled A for African, A for American, H for humor, A for awards, and then the S is society.com. Okay, so AAhAs.com. It's theahas.com. All right, I'm not really sure where my guest is right now, so I'm going to make a quick phone call, and let's see if I can find him, because maybe something came up. I might have to reschedule. Who knows? Let's see, everyone. Okay. Let's see. Hi, sir.
Hello there, Ms. Camille. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Are you able to come into the studio for a few minutes?
Yes. I'm just not getting back in the car. So how you doing? Talk to me.
Great. Yeah, I'm on the air, but I tell the audience I'm going to call you, and we're going to have a quick interview. Okay. Okay.
You gonna pull a quick one on me, all right, dear? You just let it rip. I'm ready. You ain't gonna catch me with my underwear down.
Okay, wait, my show is G-rated. Excuse me, my show is G-rated. Okay.
We'll keep it G-rated then. All right, I got
Thank you so much. Okay, I'll wait till you call in, okay?
No. We can start whenever you get ready. I'm ready.
Oh, I just need you to call the number that I sent you, and then we can record, okay?
Hold tight. Let me out.
All right.
You want me to call in right now when I say goodbye to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. I'll call you in just a quick minute.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that was Mr. Wonderful Sir Frank Cooper. So we're just waiting for Sir to come on into the studio. Okay. His website is absolutely fabulous. If you have free time, please go and you can study it. If I were you, I would study the website because it has a historical basis to it, and because he is a founder of a award society show, and that's also very important to learn about people while they're here, and also give them their flowers, thank them for their contributions and for what they're trying to do, because he made so many sacrifices in order to make the award show happen. Okay, and then I don't know if you all listened, but earlier today I did have on the executive producer and director of Adeline. Remember, I had them on too. So I am. Oh, here he is. Okay. All right. So now we have Sir Frank Cooper. Hi, sir.
Top of the morning, Miss Camille. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Your voice.
It's wonderful to hear your voice as well. Yes. I can't. It's a little quiet. I don't know what's going on with the volume, but I can't hear you as well as I could when I called you.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I'm not sure why.
Let me take you off the speaker then. Hold on.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it's much better.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the interview so we can, we have so much to unpack and introduce you to the audience. My first question is, what inspired you to create the AAhAs, and what does the acronym stand for?
Okay. The acronym, the AAhAs, AAhAs, stands for the African American Humor Award Society. And what inspired me was living in L.A. after leaving Atlanta, going to L.A. I found myself, after a little while, looking at all these black sitcoms back in the day, such as Sanford and Son, Room 227, and all those shows, Marla Gibbs' show, Amen, shows like that. All these black actors and actresses never got any recognition from no one's award show. And they were all complaining. We always get overlooked. And these shows were on TV for 4, 5, 6 seasons, some of them. And they were never honored or awarded anything on any of the award shows. So I just got sick and tired, and I said, something needs to change. So I started roaming the idea around in my head, and I like to meditate. Since I don't drink and smoke, I like to go and meditate. And I went into a wonderful closet, small closet, and I meditate there for about a couple of hours. And while meditating, I came up with the idea of creating the first award show for minority comedians.
Thank you. And then how was your first award comedy show? First award show, I apologize.
It was the first time that anyone had ever done it, and I was a fish out of water, didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is I wanted to honor these people, and we pulled it together. And we did it at the Patriotic Hall, downtown off of Figueroa in Los Angeles. When I announced it, the mayor at the time, the first black mayor of L.A., gave me a beautiful plaque and honored me by giving me that plaque and by giving and naming that particular day we did the award show as the AHA Day for the city of LA. And the first award show was filled with a lot of emotions. A lot of these black actors like LaWanda Page and Marla Gibbs and Rudy Ray Moore and Red Fox and Ronaldo Ray, all these people that showed up to receive their award, they were literally coming to me crying, thanking me for creating this award show because they had gone for so many years without getting any recognition. So it was a very emotional show. It was full of laughter. It was full of tears. And it was full of joy, combination of all.
Wonderful. And then the slogan, laughter has no color, so smile. And the logo, what does the logo actually stand for?
Well, the logo is the face encased in a square box. And it's a face encased in that. And that face is smiling. And when you look at that face, you think about every living person on earth that have anything to laugh about or smile about. We all express those feelings the same way, no matter who you are, what color you are, what continent you're on, whatever. We all laugh and smile the same way. There are things that makes us funny. And the slogan came from, I was trying to think of something that would be universal. And I kept bouncing it around in my head, went into meditation again, and came up with the slogan, laughter has no color, because it encapsulates everything that living human beings have in common. And that's what I wanted to center it around, and that was, what do we all as living human beings have in common? We have the air that we breathe, we have the blood that runs through our vein, and we share Mother Nature, which is all the greenery that give us the air, and then we share the earth, which gives us our minerals and diamonds, pearls, rubies, oil, gas, you name it. So it was to encapsulate everything that human beings share.
That's wonderful. And then, how do you select the nominees? For the award show? What is the criteria? What criteria do you use?
Well, for the first show, we started out. The criteria was you had to have been in the business at least 25 years. At least, doing stand-up, doing movies, doing sitcoms, or doing stage. That was the first criteria. And then after we developed and continued to grow, we came up with a few more criteria, which was we upped the age to 30 years. You have to be 30 years in the business. You have to have had a long history of dedication to the comedy genre. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you had to have the biggest box office or sell the most tickets to your movies. It was that you just had to be consistent at your craft.
Okay.
Hello, are you there?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had it on.
Okay.
I had it on mute. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing the comedy industry today, and how do you see your awards helping to address those challenges?
Okay, the challenge nowadays is everybody is wearing their feelings on their sleeve, and we need to get back to freedom of speech, which being able to laugh at yourself, being able to laugh at other people, not in a degrading way, but in a fun way, should be and always have been very acceptable. But now we're trying to put guidelines on it, which infringe upon freedom of speech. Now, freedom of speech can be damaging if you meet someone angry and they're trying to be derogatory toward you. We're not talking about that. We're talking about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, when you want to bring joy into someone's life. And to me, we're kind of getting away from that, or we have gotten away from it with all this politically correct mess, when we need to get back to just straight up freedom of speech. You can tell when someone is joking with you and when they're not. If not, then you haven't lived. And that's what that's where we're coming from with that.
Okay, thank you. And then how has the Comedy Awards landscape evolved over the years, and what do you think the future holds for Comedy Award shows?
Well, when you look back at the history of comedy, especially with black people, now I'm going to take you back. There were a time when black people only had one day to rest after working in the cotton fields, the cornfields, or whatever master had them doing. They had one day to rest, and that day partly was dedicated toward being indoctrinated by people teaching them how to be obedient by using the Bible. Well, usually you were off on Sundays, so you had all night Saturday to party, and black people partied. They told jokes, they danced, they sang, they entertained themselves. And then on Sundays, of course, they had to put all that aside and go and be indoctrinated by this new religion, or whatever you want to call it, to be obedient. And comedy has changed the way America and the world has accepted us, especially as black people, because we've opened so many doors through comedy. If you do the history of Dick Gregory used comedy to open the doors in the minds of people politically. Dick Gregory was one of the first black people to seriously run for presidency of the United States. And then there came a lady by the name of Shirley Chisholm, I think her name was. She was the first black woman to seriously run for presidency of the United States. So comedy has changed a lot of ways that Americans and the rest of the world see us as black people, because you can get your point across easier. It's easier to insult someone through comedy and get your point across as opposed to being blunt and belligerent with it.
Yes. Yes, indeed. What advice do you have for aspiring comedians and writers who hope to one day be nominated for your awards?
Well, for young up-and-coming comedians, which we also had that category 30 years ago, and a lady by the name, she was establishing herself. She received an award from us, but she never came to pick it up, and that lady was Whoopi Goldberg. She was an up-and-coming stand-up comic, and I still have her trophy right to this day because we hadn't been able to get to her to give her her trophy. Another young up-and-coming comedian at the time was a man named Eddie Murphy. We honored Eddie Murphy 30 years ago on that very same show, and we never got a chance right to this day to give him his trophy that he won 30 years ago, and we still have his trophy to deliver to him as well. So I would tell the young comedians, there's a lot of young comedians out there that don't know the history of comedy. I'm going to give you a quick example. There's an expression that a lot of people use, and they take that expression for granted, and that is, oh, you're just a barrel of laughs. Have you ever heard that expression?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That expression came from back in the day when black people would be gathered around and they were having fun. And if you were in a public place, there used to be a barrel, literally a barrel on the streets. So if you start to laugh out loud or talk out loud or tell a joke out loud, you would have to stick your head in that barrel to laugh. And that's where that term came from, a barrel of laughs. And young black comics need to know their history. They need to know the people that paved the way for them. They need to know a Mandan Marlin. They need to know a Dick Gregory, a Flip Wilson, a LaWanda Page, a Moms Mabley. They need to know these people and know the history of comedy, so when they do their thing, they're not just paying tribute to a long-lost or a long-lost person that's been forgotten, but they're paying homage to that person as well.
Thank you. And then how do you ensure that the award show is inclusive and represents a diverse range of voices and perspectives in comedy?
Well, last year, 2021, was the first year that we honored our first minority comedian. And that comedian's name is Jay Leno of The Tonight Show. We gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award along with George Wallace, a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, Jay is a white guy. And Jay, through The Tonight Show, enhanced the careers of so many black comedians who are now multimillionaires. Jay's show enhanced their careers. The reason we honor Jay is because Jay did a movie, he and George Wallace, years ago, before the movie The Green Book came out. Jay did a documentary, mini documentary, about a half an hour long, and it was called The Green Book of Comedy, Black Comedy. And through that little documentary, he told the story about what black comedians had to go through and what they lived through and the different places they could perform and where they could not perform and how they had to go in the back door to get to the stages and all that to perform their craft. And we honor this man for doing that documentary. So now what we do is we've opened it up for everybody. Margaret Cho happened to be a comedian, an Asian comedian, that we had her on a show where we were honoring Della Reese and Red Fox for a TV show called The Royal Family. Well, this was pretty much the first time Margaret had been before a large audience of black people on Wilshire Boulevard at the Wiltern Theater. We gave her that opportunity. I didn't think she was going to be that funny, but she wound up begging me to give her 5 minutes. Margaret went on stage and turned that 5 minutes into almost 20 to 30 minutes, and she killed. So we are open for diversity from all walks of life because everybody have one thing in common, and that is laughter has no color, so smile.
Yeah, I love that. And then what are some of the most memorable moments or highlights from past editions of your award show?
Ask that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. What are some of the most memorable moments or highlights from past editions of the award show or of the AAhAs? Could you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. One of the most memorable moments. There have been several, but I'll never forget when we gave Marla Gibbs her first award. She came up on stage, and I was standing backstage, and she looked toward the right of the stage, and she was thanking everybody for coming, and she looked back and she said, "I don't know who you are or what inspired you to do this, but this is the first award I've ever received concerning my craft, and I want to thank you." And after she gave that speech, everybody started giving speeches toward me, except Paul Mooney, because Paul didn't think we were going to honor him. Paul wound up getting 3 trophies that night, one for writing, one for performing, and one for being a comedy actor. And Paul made a joke. After the show went on for a little while and he never received an award, he comes up on stage, and he was accepting one of the trophies for Richard Pryor. And he said, "I don't know what you people think I do, but I write comedy. I write for most of these people that's on the stage." And then the next category, he got his first award. So that was very memorable as well. And all this stuff is on film.
Yes. That's a great story. And then finally, what are your plans for the future of your Comedy Awards show, and how do you hope to continue to grow and evolve the event over time?
Well, over the 30 years, I've had 3 staff members. One is named Tricia Voorhees, the other one is named Mitzi Voorhees, and myself. For 30 years, we have been pulling this thing together in one form or another. The award show, our Father's Day tribute, comedy concerts, anything that we could do to keep the AAhA name out there. And this is going to be the last year that I'll be able to do this out of my pocket because I've gotten older, I'm going broke, And we are looking for sponsors. We need a sponsorship, or we need someone to take us under their wing and get this thing on TV. And this coming 2024 is going to be the last year I'll be able to do it out of my pocket. And we are looking for sponsors, and we hope that this thing will carry on for decades to come, you know, because when I came up with the idea, I actually shopped the idea in Hollywood for approximately a year. And everybody was telling me it was a great idea and all that, but they didn't think anybody would watch that. So I said, okay, I'll take it on myself. I'll finance it myself. And through a lot of work, demeaning jobs and everything, cleaning toilets and raking leaves and selling clothes and you name it, whatever I had to do, mopping floors, whatever I had to do to keep the money coming in to keep this thing going, I did it, and I'm still doing it. As a matter of fact, you're talking to me right now on the job, and I'm hoping to, you know, the money I make, part of it will go toward the AAhA Fund to be able to pull this thing off in 2024. So we are looking for sponsors. We need help.
Yes. Okay. And then, did you want to just mention to the audience what your social media handles are so that they can...
Yes, you can go to find out more about us. There is a documentary being played about my life, about my whole life concerning the AAhAs and everything else on Amazon Prime. You can go to Amazon Prime and pull it up. It's called Laughter Has No Color. And my name really is Sir Frank Cooper. That is my real name. And you'll find out through the documentary why I was named Sir Frank Cooper from my father. You can also go to itstheahas.com. itstheahas.com. And you can pull up information on us as well.
Okay. That's outstanding. Thank you so much, sir, for being my guest today and also for sharing your thoughts and all about the AAhAs. I am just so thrilled to have you here. And I'm looking forward to part 2 because this is part 1, everyone. So we're going to have a part 2 show that we will be recording next Saturday. I believe that's May 27th, so a week from today. Okay? And so I'm going to say, I have a question, sir. What is your favorite coffee or hot beverage?
Well, I am not a coffee drinker, but I do love me some ginseng tea, lemon tea, any kind of herb tea. I do love that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so very much again. And I will talk to you next week for sure. And enjoy the rest of the Saturday and the weekend.
Camille, thank you so much. Thank you and your network for taking the time out to find us interesting enough to talk about. Have a wonderful day and a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much. Same to you. Bye-bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone. That was the amazing, incomparable Sir Frank Cooper. And this is just part 1 of the interview. Actually, I didn't quite get the title correct up here. It's supposed to be exclusive part. I did say exclusive part 2, two-part interview with Sir Frank Cooper. All right, because I thought I made an error. Sometimes I have these little typos. I do. But again, you can go to itstheahas.com. Okay, he also has a Facebook page. So they're at the AAhAs, okay, on Facebook. And we will be recording, as I said, part 2 to this interview next Saturday, all right? He is such an inspiring, full of wisdom, just contributing massively to the African American culture and to its heritage. And this is so very important in a time where erasure of a Native people is being pushed. So I just want you all to think about that we here in America who are doing positive and have always been doing wonderful positive things can continue. We continue under a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure and no support from society the way they really should, because I can't even imagine one day of just sitting and I meditate and I come up with something as phenomenal as a award show for comedians, right? Like that just blows my mind that so many that we have watched on television, our parents have watched on television, our grandparents have watched on television, are not recognized or have not been recognized by an industry and a profession that they work so diligently in. And they also, when I think about a lot of these comedians, Monique, Richard Pryor, Dick Gregory, Dale Hewley, and so many more, Eddie Murphy, Whoopi Goldberg, and also how they've just really changed the face of comedy. And you talk about excellence. They are just downright phenomenal. And it is, I think, the most, I think one of the most important things we can do for one another is to support each other in our endeavors as creators, because creators, in my humble opinion, oftentimes do not receive enough support, right? Like what Sir is doing, he's created a platform to lift up others, right? And this is what we need to stay conscious of, keep that in our conscious as Americans, is to look out and make each other laugh, right? Laughter has no color. These people have entertained us forever. Okay? So that's the end of my speech right now, because I have another guest coming into the studio in a half hour. So I think he's my last one for this Saturday morning. And just like my last guest, I have another job. I work as a teacher. I teach English to international students. And so all I will say is this. Thank you for listening to my podcast. It is, I have a lot of episodes now. I think I'm finally over 60 episodes. I'm trying to get to 100. And this is our eighth season. And I believe this episode is, in fact, number 10. But you are more than welcome to go to coffeechatwithcamille.com. There you will find all of the episodes, okay? And you can subscribe. Please leave comments about the show. Let me know what you think. If you think, hey, Camille, you can improve on this or the other. I love constructive criticism. I don't need nasty, nice folks to do it, though. I just need you to please let me know if there's something that I could do different, better, to ease your listening experience, okay? But for now, I want you to know that you're more than welcome to always go and listen to the shows. My guests, just about every last one of them, as far as I can see, have something to contribute and to offer you their knowledge and whatever it is that they are doing, pursuing, and have been doing for many, many years. I want you to know also that the AAhAs has been, it was the first comedy award show, and it was founded by Sir Frank Cooper, who was kind enough, polite enough while he's working to give me an interview. But it was founded in 1989. So as he said too, he needs sponsors. So please, if you're a sponsor out there, this is a magnificent award show, and everything about it is just amazing. And it makes no sense to me that no sponsor would want to pick up this beautiful award show. And so please, if you're a sponsor out there, please try to contact Sir Frank Cooper at the AAhAs, okay, theahas.com. All right? Okay, so I think that's a wrap for now. like I said, I have one more guest. His name is Ryan Winters. He is an author of a book and much more. All right. Thank you for listening to coffeechatwithcamille.com. You can find us on all streaming podcasts. All streams. So it's like Apple and I think there's one just called podcast. I can't remember. RSS feed, Overcast, I think. Well, there's so many. So please just listen to us, leave comments, get involved, okay? I think I'm going to have an episode on reparations. For that one, I will probably, more likely than not, conduct it on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. It's Coffee Chat with Camille. Okay. Right now, I have a world-renowned pencil artist, and his name is Clarence Thomas. He's such a gifted artist, and he gets around. He was just hanging out with Matt Barnes, like an NBA superstar, you know. So he does. He really gets around. He's such a hardworking man, and his pencilship. Excuse me, I've had him on here twice, and he is just fabulous. Okay, so I believe I have him posted up, and I need to get the other 63 episodes up as well. Okay, so as an executive producer, I have a lot of work to do. Okay, I really love my podcast, and I love my guest, and I love you for listening. Okay, thank you for listening. Coffee Chat with Camille. Bye for now.